Hello, everyone. Welcome to another book talk here at Eight Letters Bookstore and Publishing. I'm your host and creative director, Cindy Wong. And with us today is Aldrich Infantado. He's not new to Eight Letters, but today we're going to talk about her newest book entitled 101 Letters to Juliet or 101 Letters to Juliet. Aldrich Infantado is a travel writer and storyteller with a heart for life's quiet, beautiful moments. Best known for his award winning blog, The Bisaya Traveler, he writes stories that blur the lines between adventure, reflection, and the raw ache of being human. In 101 Letters to Juliet, Aldrich draws inspiration from places he's personally explored, weaving his signature mix of honesty and wonder into a moving tale of love, loss, and the messy, magical journey of finding your way back to yourself. So, welcome once again to Eight Letters Book Talk. Aldrich, how are you?
I'm doing well, and thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Yan. So sabi ko nga, hindi ka na bago dito sa Eight Letters.
Yeah,
You have written one of the pieces before sa one of our anthologies. But
yeah.
today we'll talk about 101 Letters to Juliet. Um, Perhaps before we go through the questions, maybe we can have a quick glimpse of the book. What is this book all about?
There, it's a multi-layered story, but in essence, it's all about self-love. And I think self-love is the most underrated form of love in today's world. So the story is all about Juliet, and she is troubled, she's lost in her life, and that's because she mainly doesn't have self-love. So in our culture today, we often glorify we often sacrifice through bayanihan, kapamilya, or kabarkada values. So we don't love ourselves more because we are raised to sacrifice ourselves for the greater good of the community. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But this story reminds us that you can't pour from an empty cup, and you need self love. You need to fill that with water. So I think you're familiar with this. During our flights, we are often told that we have to put our own oxygen mask before we try to help others. And that's because we might not be able to breathe if we do that first. And it's similar to Juliet. She has to learn how to breathe, heal, and love herself before she can love and forgive others. That's it.
Wow. So, have you written this in the point of view of Juliet, or tell us more about the style of the book? Because we've mentioned that si Juliet, siya yung main character dito, but you know, it's not very. It's I wouldn't say it's rare, pero how was your process in writing this, since you were writing about your travels in your blog, and then this time around you've kind of shifted towards this self-love and Juliet, and I think Juliet is so feminine in a way. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe you can share with us.
Uh, Most of the events here are based on my personal experiences, but I had to write it through Juliet's eyes. So I have to make some adjustments in my writing style. If those who have already read my blog and also read the book, they might find some differences, might find some similarities, but it's hard to explain. It's kind of different, but it's similar. That's the best way I can say it. But it's like seeing Mindanao through the eyes of someone who was raised in Manila and have never seen Mindanao, never seen the heart of Mindanao, to be precise.
Yeah, we can see the cover. It looks very interesting, and it's good na, this one is, well, majority of the setting is in Mindanao.
Yeah.
Talking about the character journey, how does Juliet's journey reflect her internal struggles with well, we've read the blurb, so with migraines and personal truths. So, is it literal migraine, or in what ways do these physical and emotional challenges shape her, character development throughout the story?
The migraines are physical, and they are also a symbol of the weight she's carrying from the unspoken truth, denials, and also the suppressed emotions. So every time that she confronts pain, she's also to confront things that she has been avoiding all along. And all these struggles have helped her become someone who's more self-aware, and it also has taught her and resilience and the importance of listening to the body and heart. And I think a lot of people can relate to this because right now there are so many burnout people. They glorify overworking. They don't listen to their heart and body. And in a way, Juliet reminds them that you should take a break from all the chaos and also all the crazy stuff going in the modern world.
Okay, so we've also mentioned na yung setting nito was also in Mindanao.
Yeah.
So how did the setting, particularly the contrast between Manila and Mindanao, impact Juliet's quest for self-discovery? Like, out of the three main islands, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, we all know that Mindanao is the less explored. Pero
Yeah.
like how did this setting impact Juliet's quest for self-discovery? Ano ba, may cultural elements ba na nag-stand out with when it comes to Mindanao?
Yeah. Kasi it's like this. So the contrast between Manila and Mindanao is like also a representation of Juliet's inner conflict. So Manila represents the weight of expectations, the mask she's wearing, also the privilege. On the other hand, Mindanao is more liberating and raw, and in that way, it strips her down to her true self. It also helps her see and discover who she truly is, and also uncover some family secrets. And Mindanao is also represents the saying that everything you wanted in life is sitting on the other side of fear. So Juliet, like me, and probably you too, grow up thinking that Mindanao is this one big chaotic and very wild place. So we grew up thinking that there are so many stereotypes about Mindanao, but in truth, it's the most peaceful and beautiful place in the country. And I'm not talking about just Siargao. I'm talking about the heart of Mindanao, places like South Cotabato, Marawi, and Maguindanao. So I've been to those places personally, and they are more peaceful and friendly than the cities I'm living in.
Well, to be honest with you, I've traveled to other Muslim countries, and I feel like it's my loss na I have not explored Mindanao, but it's
Yeah.
definitely on my list. Now, moving out of the setting naman, let's talk about the themes of the book. Kasi we mentioned love, faith, there's also self-discovery, healing, but then also there's this term forgiveness. Ayan. How do these
What do you,
themes intersect in Julian's experience? Bakit may forgiveness? May nakagawa ba ng kasalanan sa kanya? May specific moments ba in the book that highlight this theme na forgiveness? Why is it so important?
yeah, because there are so many secrets within her family. So she has to forgive her sister Jan for the secrets and her mother for leaving without saying goodbye. And most importantly, herself for years of resentment and denial. So it's like she has lived, she wants to live, but she couldn't because she's denying it. She wants to please the people around her. She wants to live the safe life. And parang ganun. Yeah, she needs to forgive herself for doing that. And a turning point here is her decision to show kindness even in frustration. So there are two small moments here, and they're about the waiter, who is actually a very important character in this story. made a couple of mistakes, but instead of lashing out, she forgave the waiter. Those moments are small, but they represent the larger theme of the book, which is forgiveness is love in practice. And also, as for the faith, I think I have mentioned about religion here. In this story, it becomes less about religion and more about spirituality and more about trusting the universe. So there's a difference between religion and spirituality, and the book briefly highlights that.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask then actually na yung regarding dun sa family secrets.
Yeah,
So we can see na yung family secrets na yun, of course, we won't
yeah.
spoil it to the viewers. It really affected Juliet. How old is Juliet actually? Sino
She's
yung
in her early 30s.
early 30s? Okay, yeah, so that's why na nakapag-travel na siya.
Yeah.
So, and she's traveling solo.
Yes, solo for this one because she has to find answers and she also has to find herself. And of all places in Mindanao, she could have gone to Sagada, she could have gone to Panawi, but
Mhm.
of all places in Mindanao.
Yeah, that's very brave of her. And
Yeah,
doon pa lang sa decision pa lang na yon, parang wow, it takes a lot of courage.
yeah, it
Um,
takes a lot.
mm-mm. You also mentioned then dun sa blurb, yung invisible borders,
Yeah,
created, lalo na sa Pilipinas, or syempre sa book, focusing on the book, created by religion, family, and class. Um, how did you address this as the author? May moments ba when, when the main character challenges or transcends these limitations? Although, we all know Philippines is the Philippines, pero we all have different religion, we have different cultures
yeah.
in different islands. Ayun. How did you address this?
Okay, so we often create these invisible borders and walls that aren't really necessary. So we make divisions when the truth is we're just all the same. So we have Muslims, Christians, Bisaya, Tagalogs, and so many other identities. But at the end of the day, we're just human beings who all struggle and pray under the same sky. So these labels, although part of our culture, can sometimes become cages or borders. So they can affect our decision and they can dictate who we can love, what we can love, or where we belong. And the book addresses that in a lot of ways, like the relationship between Juliet and Basir. So Basir is a very ethical character here. He's Muslim, and without spoiling anything, he plays a very crucial role in helping her identify herself. And another crucial moment in the story was when Juliet went to Marawi. So Juliet grew up in a religious Catholic community, and she always thought that Mindanao was this the wars in Mindanao were caused because of the differences in faith. But there, while she was in Marawi, while she was talking with Basir, she realized that it's not religion that dividing the people, but it's human greed and fear. And also the budding romance between Jen and Alan, who, as many of my readers have said, is the book version of me, addresses those boundaries. So Jen is this rich, no nonsense businesswoman, while Alan is this free spirited guy who smells cheap beers and mountain.
Okay, wow. Okay, thank you for those insights
Yeah,
from the book. So it's good na you to know na you put or you poured yourself into this
yeah,
book. Madalas na nangyayari yan.
yeah,
Siguro, let's step out of the book a little bit. And of course, I want to remind our viewers right now to make sure to get a copy of 101 Letters to Juliet. It's now available on our website, Shopee, Lazada, and also on Amazon. So Aldrich, um, stepping out a bit lang. Um, Maybe you can share a bit of your journey, your writing journey. Kasi uh, kanina we mentioned na, you've blogged about your
Yeah.
adventures. You're known for your blog. And then this time around, you've pivoted into writing essays, and this time
Yeah.
a novel. So, what's your? Do you have a writing plan or order? Ano ba? Order plan?
So I see my whole life or career as a writer as a journey with ever-changing landscape. So I started as a content writer many years ago, and actually I graduated as a teacher. I graduated with an education degree, but I have never pursued that course. So I started as a content writer, and I developed into a learned a few stuff in writing blogs. Then I also became an editor for the company, and I kept doing that until I started writing essays, and I submitted it to different publishing companies like you. Then just this year, I mean, a couple of years ago, there was a change in the direction with content writing. Companies were more focused on using AI during those times. So what happened was I was removed from my position as an editor, but I became a content marketing manager for a US company. And it also helped me as a writer because I have to figure out how to attract the readers in the first sentence and the headlines. Then it helped me develop Juliet. And I'm planning, I see this book not as a milestone, but as a starting point of a new journey. My boss always tell me that if you want to succeed, you jump into the water and learn how to swim, and that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know where this one is going, but I'm going to figure out along the way. So I'm just going to enjoy the journey as a writer or an author.
You've gotta pitch this somewhere. I would
Yeah,
say, parang feeling ko, it has great potential. Do you have the copy with you ba? So
yeah,
maybe.
I have a copy, but it's a
Oh,
bit
okay.
far. So do
Oh,
I have
sige,
to
sige,
grab?
okay.
Do I have to grab that?
Yeah, sige, sige. That's fine. Yeah, and then while you're grabbing that, I can also, well, read the last question here. Um, Ito, all about personal reflection naman, Aldrich. In what ways, habang hinahanap mo yung book, in what
Yeah,
ways do
yeah,
you relate to Juliet's search for identity and belonging? Actually, na-mention mo na to kanina. Ayun,
yeah.
pero siguro we're looking at something deeper. Have you ever experienced a journey that led you to discover something profound about yourself? Kasi, I mean, you've been traveling a lot as
Yeah.
well. So, maybe you can share a bit of that.
Yeah, it's like I'm also like Juliet. So I've said this to others before that she also represents me. Probably a metaphor of other people too. So I was also lost in my life several years ago. So I had a lot of detours, made a lot of mistakes before I became this version of me. And I was able to become this self-made version of me because no one actually micromanaged my life. So if I listen to the society of or what others think, what was best for me, I think I wouldn't be here. So it's like Juliet. If she has listened to her sister Jen, she wouldn't have find the best or truest version of herself. And this story is also a tribute to my mom, who just let be me, just be me. So she didn't want me to become a nepo baby, and she gave me the freedom to build a life that sets my soul fire. And this story is also a letter to my daughter. So we all know that we have an expiration date, and when that time comes, this book will be my voice to guide her through her hard time. So she will gain wisdom by reading this book, and she will learn more about her father actually by just reading this book. So it's I call this memento mori, which is one of the underlying themes of this book.
How old is your daughter, if you don't mind me asking?
She's 6 years old, and she's also in the story.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure people will be proud. Your mom will
Yeah,
be proud, and Your daughter will be proud.
Yeah,
Ayan.
I
So,
hope so.
pwedeng, yeah, I'm sure. Aldrich, maybe you can also show the book as well kung
Yeah.
nasa sa'yo na.
Uh,
Yan.
so this is the book, so it looks nice. Actually, this book, the cover is inspired from one of the mosques in Maguindanao. It's the Grand Mosque. I think it's the second largest mosque in the Philippines, and this one is Juliet. She looks mysterious here, and there's this mysterious guy who's holding his hand. And if you want to know who this person is, you have to buy and read the book.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so nice. I believe it's going to be available as well in the upcoming Manila International Book Fair.
Wow,
Oh,
looks nice.
yeah, yeah. So we're very excited about that. So Aldrich, where can we follow you? And of course, what's next? What's next? May book ka ba na if, sinusulat or may iba ka pa bang ginagawa? Do you have any social media platforms that you want to promote?
Oh yeah, so for those who want to read about my previous experiences in traveling around the Philippines, you can always check bisayatraveler.com, and all my social media pages are also there. And for the next book, I'm currently writing about it, and I'm I'm going to use the same style and formula I use with 101 letters to Juliet, and it's going to be the themes are going to be different, but the core of it or the feel it's going to feel the same. So it won't be about letters; it will be about Polaroids. So Polaroids are those pictures insects cameras. So I won't share more about it because I'm still thinking about the whole plot. But yeah, that's all from me.
We're very much looking forward to that, Aldrich. And once again, to our viewers, please make sure to get a copy. It's only 529 pesos, available on our website, Shopee, Lazada, and also Amazon. And please support Aldrich and 101 Letters to Juliet.
Peace.
Again, thank you very much, Aldrich, and
Thank
we
you,
hope to
Miss
see you
Cindy.
again next time.
Yeah,
Ayan.
hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye.